Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Veda and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel, I show you how my family is using the zero-based budgeting method in order to get out of debt and simplify our financial life. If that sounds like content that you're interested in, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and join our little crew here. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. All right. Well, today is a bit of an unusual one because I am trying to capture the last bits of daylight before the sun goes away for the day. Usually I film mine early morning or late morning, but today was just one of those days where I only had time later in the evening. So that means you're going to hear my daughter in the background. That was her. Also, you might notice this is a little different. The plant that I had here before is actually really tall, and I felt like it wasn't being captured really well on camera. And this is something that I just threw together. Actually, I'll put a picture up on the screen for you guys to see. This little jar is from the dollar spot at Target, and I just had some like dried flowers around the house. And I just like threw this together for something on my kitchen counter in like a little nook area that I have space. And so I was like, oh, that would be pretty on camera. So it's here. Anyways, hi. My voice is back to normal. Thank the good Lord. And we are going to be getting into my weekly check-in. And it's so funny because I was realizing that not filming one last week, I actually really missed it. Somebody in the comments said recently, it's like catching up with a friend. And I love that. That's kind of like the vibe and energy that I'm going for here. I like being able to chat with you guys about my week, and please always tell me about your week in the comments. Love to hear what you guys are up to. But for those of you who are uninitiated, the weekly check-in is tracking all of our non-cash spending for the last week for envelopes that we cash stuff for. We want to make sure that we don't go over budget. But also we want to make sure that when we spend online, we take the cash from the cash envelopes and put it back into the bank so that we don't overdraw the account because, you know, whether you do it online or you do it in cash, you only have so much, and so you can't go over. So that's what this video does. It checks in for the week. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop right into my budget planner. This is available in my Etsy shop, which is always linked below. And we're now in October. So let me just go back to this week's. Here we go. I'm just going to pull out the expense tracker so that we can go over everything. So that we don't like have it here. Well, and you can't even see it over there, but, let me see if I can grab. That's not blank on the back. I feel like, do I have one that's blank on the back? No. Oh, you know what? My calendar here. I'll just grab December and then I'll put December back. Just because I want to be able to like zoom you guys in and cover up some of the expenses so that it's not overwhelming you. So you're not seeing this like huge sheet of expenses. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in and we will get started on chatting about this week's expenses. All right. So before we get started, I just wanted to let you guys know that this was a bit of an unconventional last like a couple of weeks for us. We were a little spendier than we usually are. And we are going to be covering any of the discrepancies or negatives here with money that is overage from my paychecks. So for those of you who don't know, my husband is salary and I am an hourly wage earner. And so we just kind of project what I'm going to make based off of how many shifts I'm going to have in a pay period. But the way that if you missed a couple of videos ago, my manager, our general manager for where I work was fired. She didn't do anything wrong. It was the people above her that are the problem. However, that means more hours and more responsibility for me and probably a raise, which is a good thing for me. But anyways, so I'm going to be working more hours. So I'm going to have overage in pay. And so that is going to make up for some of the overspendingness that we had. I mean, we knew that I was going to be making more money, so that's sort of why. But also my son's birthday party is tomorrow when you're watching this. And so we definitely went over the budget that we have for birthday parties, but this is just another one of those little bumps in the road of budgeting where you learn and you adapt. And one of the things that we know is that we need to be putting a little bit more money toward birthday parties here and there. So that's what we're going to be doing moving forward. Anyways, now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's just go ahead and get started in with the weekly check-in. So on the 29th of, my goodness, September, I popped into Walmart and picked up a box of like glow sticks for my son. Actually, he had a dance and it was like a school dance and it was like neon themed. And they were allowed to bring in glow sticks and stuff like that. So I got a box of them and he used a couple of them for his school dance, but we pulled it from Halloween because we're going to be using most of them for Halloween so that we can, see our kids in the dark and all that sort of stuff. Let me grab my pen really quick. And so the cost was $9.14, but I'm going to be taking $10 back to the bank because that's what we do around here. We round up to the next dollar. My husband tracks all of the change and puts it in a virtual coin jar that he tracks every little bit of change that comes in. And then we utilize actually that virtual coin jar here and there for miscellaneous expenses. So that's why we're returning $10 to the bank. And then next up is on the 2nd of October, that Aaron and Mills company from a couple of weeks ago. So the last weekly check-in that I did on my channel, she had another cute little something. She had these vintage spoons and I could not resist them because I like to do charcuterie boards. For those of you who may be new to my channel and don't know that, I love making charcuterie boards for friends when they come over. So I use little spoons like that for like jams and, oh my gosh, I'm like losing, olives and like different cheeses that you can like scoop. So I like little forks and little spoons for stuff like that. And these were vintage. So that's like an added Veda desire. So that's what that was. And the purchase was $16.20. And so I'm taking $17 back to the bank. So this is the first of a string of our, we went over budget, we were spendy purchases, and Taco Bell hooked me. And so I needed to go back, and that will not be happening again because for those of you who already know, your girl is sensitive to all of the things. And so, actually, Taco Bell is actually one of the least offensive things to my system, but nonetheless, I have to eat a very strict diet because I have all kinds of autoimmune issues. And when I go off of this diet, my autoimmune issues rear their ugly heads. But that didn't stop me from getting it this day. And so the total for the purchase was $22.79. I am not returning money back to the bank for this because this is going to be coming from the overage in my pay. And that is the same for the next purchase, which was pizza that we picked up the same day. This, for those of you who are wondering why we never eat out, this is why. Because with this amount of money, I could make a few meals. So anyways, it was also on the 2nd, we got pizza. I'm not putting the pizza place because it is local. And then we put it in our dine out category, even though I'm not paying back from dine out. It's going to be covered from my pay overage. So that's why I'm not returning anything to the bank here. So the next up here on October 2nd also was we ran to Home Depot because our toilet paper holder in our powder room, I think some people call it a half bath, and some people look at me like I'm crazy when I say powder room. So it's a half bath. It broke. And so I was kind of never really crazy about it to begin with. And so I ended up finding one that I really liked. But because I changed the toilet, this is like if you give a mouse a cookie. Because I changed the toilet paper holder, I also had to change the towel hook. And so, but then I needed to buy like spackle so that I could fill in the holes and sand them all down and that sort of thing. And then I bought just a little sample pot of the paint that I have in that room because I ran out of the paint in that room. All right, we had a little interruption there, but nothing we can't get past. Okay. So, I was talking about the paint. So we ran out of the paint color that's on that wall. And so I just got a little sample pot of paint from Home Depot to make up for that as well. So that's what this covered. And so we're pulling it from House Project because it's like a little mini house project. And the cost was $23.82 and we were returning $24 to the bank. Next up, believe it or not, is a Target purchase in which there was only one category. This is like one of the only ones from this past week, but still, we're going to call this a victory. We had a little kid's birthday party, and so all of it came from gifts, and the total was $38.22, and I'm going to be taking $38 back to the bank because we pulled the 22 cents from our little virtual coin jar, and that is how we handled that purchase. Oh, okay. So we have a couple of these purchases for a farm. So my daughter had what's it called? A field trip this week. And so I had to pay my own way for it. But then also they had a little gift shop. And so I picked up a couple like Christmas presents and things like that from there. And so that's what this was. This came from Christmas. It was $10.82, but we're returning $11 to the bank. And for this next one, this was my cost of admission to the little farm, and it was $12. This one's going to come from back to school since it was like a school-related reason why I was there. And so it's $12 to the bank. And then there's actually one more purchase from that little farm, but this Kroger purchase interrupted the way that it was received at our bank. So, and then this is actually this came from Partey because this was a purchase for my son's birthday party, which is, like I mentioned, tomorrow. And so the total was $15.13. We would have been returning $15 to the bank. But again, this is like sort of an extraordinary week for us. Since we went over this category, we are covering some of these purchases from Partey, also from the overage in my paycheck. I will be pulling all of the money that's in Partey and taking it back to the bank, and I have the totals written down here, so you'll see that as we move along as well. Okay, here we go. So next up was another purchase from that little farm, and the total was $71.79. So in case you're new to cash budgeting or cash stuffing, if in the event you make one purchase from a place, but it comes from multiple categories in your budget, this is how I handle it. So 26 of it was from grocery. And again, we would have been returning this $26 to the bank, but we went a little bit over. And so we're just going to be covering the difference of some of these purchases with the overage in my check. But Christmas, however, was $45.79, and I'll be returning $46 from Christmas to the bank. Next up, this is another one where we've got multiple categories here. And so this is a Whole Foods purchase. $40.37 of it was groceries, and we would have been returning $41, but we have our different totals down at the bottom. And then Partey, $69.17. And this is the same. So you're going to see a couple of purchases like this where I've written down the number, but then I've crossed it out because I have different totals down here. And then that will help us figure out the discrepancy so that we know how much we need to pull from my paycheck overage this month. Next up is going to be a fun story. So this was on the 3rd of October. You're going to see several Uber charges here. This is what happened. I left my keys, my car keys, my work keys, my house keys, everything at work when I left work last Saturday, I think. And I was like, oh, no big deal. We'll just go get them together on Sunday so that I have my keys for work on Monday. Well, we didn't. And then my husband went off to work on Monday and took the spare key with him. And so I had to Uber to work. But the reason why there are multiple Uber charges this day is because of this. This is just too good. I was supposed to be making the bank run for work this day. So what I had to do was Uber to work, get my keys, Uber back home, get my car, go back to work, get the bank deposit, go to the bank, and then go back to work. It was an absolutely insane day. And so that's why you're going to see all these Uber charges. And this is another one where we're just going to cover it with my paycheck overage. My bank or my work is not paying for it because it's not my work's fault that I left my keys there. So that's what this $3, this was actually the tip for one of the drivers. This isn't even the charge for it. And interrupted in all of this is this Apple charge. We bought a movie, and so it came from Family Fun. It was $4.23, but this one's it's being covered by my paycheck overage, so I'm not paying it back from Family Fun. And then we've got the rest of the Uber charges. So the $13.74 and the $9.23 are the two actual rides, but then the $5 and the $3 were the tips that I gave. And yes, I gave a higher tip to one guy than the other because he was just better. So anyways, that's what that is. And all of that, again, is being covered by the paycheck overage that we are going to have this month for me. Here we go. So next up, we've got Target. This is another one that's just the single category, which is amazing for me. It was $84.94. I would be taking $85 back, but again, I'll have a different grocery total down here at the bottom. If this is confusing to you guys, just let me know in the comments. This is very atypical for us. Usually we just pull the cash, return it to the bank, and we're done. And I am going to be returning money from grocery and Partay where we have these overages. It's just I had to total out what we had and then compare it to what we actually spent, if that makes sense. So anyways, now for what probably is going to make the most sense for all of you, the next Target purchase came from a few categories, quite a few this week. So the total purchase is $155.14. $80.63 of it came from Partay, so we're not returning this specific amount. $14.99 was home maintenance. I ended up caving and buying the salt shaker that matched the pepper, or salt grinder that matched the pepper grinder from a few weeks ago. If you remember, I was like, I can't stand that they're different, so I needed to replace the salt shaker that we had. $38.97 came from House Project, actually. We're returning $39 to the bank. It's not technically a house project, but it was just little things that I needed to replace in my kitchen, and that just made the most sense to me to pull that from House Project. So that's why we did that. $14.96 was from groceries. Again, we just have a different total at the bottom. And then $5.59 of it was household. I can't remember what it is that I bought, but we're returning $6 to the bank. And then last up actually for the week is I got coffee and I got my daughter some chocolate milk this day because she came grocery shopping with me because we went grocery shopping after her little field trip. So I'm just pulling it for my personal spending. It was $7.61. I'll be returning $8 to the bank. And then I totaled up what we're actually pulling from grocery and Partay down here. So we're going to be pulling, to make up for some of these purchases up here, $91 from grocery and $74 from Partay, also to make up for some of these purchases. And we will not be stuffing Partay for the rest of the month, also to make up for my son's birthday party. So that's just kind of how we're handling it. I'm realizing also it's gotten super dark in here, so I'm probably going to turn the light on for the rest of this video. I do apologize because I actually don't I think it's really harsh lighting in my dining room, but desperate times and all of that. But yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom you guys back out and we will add up all the cash that we need to pull and then just get to unstuffing those envelopes. All right. Well, I apologize for this lighting because I don't like it. So I'm sure that you guys, somebody is bothered by it too. So anyways, what we're going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and add all of this stuff up here so that we know how much money we need to have at the end. And then we will get to unstuffing. And I always zoom you guys through this because nobody wants to watch me use a calculator. So here we go. All right. So the total that we should have at the end of this is $391. So let's hope for the best here. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to write that down just so that I know, because I'm probably going to have to interrupt the calculator in order to facilitate pulling some of this, like adding up some of this, because we all know I can't math. Like math is just not my strong suit. So what I'm going to do is pop into, because I think I've learned this the hard way. I'm going to pop into, oh, do we even have low priority? Okay. So I'm going to just grab the grocery money because it's first up and I know that I have it. And that's all 91. So 50, 70, 91. That was what we had left over from grocery shopping this week. Here, I'll put that there. Well, not leftover, but leftover in cash. And then let me see if there are any other high priority in here. Gifts, Christmas, back to school, partay, grocery, partay, miscellaneous, family fun, grocery, home maintenance, right? Yeah. So 15 from home maintenance. When you condense them, you get really anxious about, oh. All right, I'm gonna have to come back to that because, you know, when you condense them, you get rid of all your small bills and then it makes your next check-in a little tricky. Home maintenance. Oh, maybe household. Yeah. So household, I know I have the change in there. So I need 6. There we go. There we go. So 5 and 6. And I have 20, 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39 left in household. But that means I'll be able to pop back to home maintenance again, which is also a good thing. So there we go, household. And then sugar. Home maintenance, there it is. I need 15 from home maintenance. So I'll put that 20 there and pull back this 5. So now we've got 75 left in home maintenance. Don't ask me why a salt grinder is a home maintenance expense, but this is what we decided. Why won't they go in? This is what we decided. All right, let me go ahead and cross that off. And then we will go into low priority sinking funds because I think that's the rest from our high priority. So we'll grab low priority. And first up from here is going to be house project. And I know we have a couple of those. I think we just have 2. So it's 39 and 24. Hopefully the last interruption of the evening. So I'm going to be pulling 63 from house project. And I think, yeah, that's back here. So, oh, nice. 50, 60, 1, 2, and 3. Nice. So that leaves the $1,000 that we still have in the bank, and then 100, 200, 5, and 6. We are still well on our way to our screen doors now. We actually have somebody coming to give us estimates for our gutters like tomorrow or next week. So that's so exciting. So we've got house project, and then I think, yeah, hers. I think most everything else is gonna come from, oh, I have hers up here too. So what is that? 17 plus 8. I cannot do that math, I'm sorry. 25 is gonna come from mine. Oh, come on. 21, 2, 3, 4. Otherwise I have 100s. I guess I'm taking 75 back, guys. 50, 70. Do I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Oh my gosh, by the skin of our teeth did we make that happen. Wow. So now in my envelope I have 1, 50, 70, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 199. Oops. And this is my own personal spending. There we go. So let's check that off and that off. And then I think, here, let me put a line through these ones that because otherwise I'm just going to confuse myself. Thinking that like I've left something unattended, you know? Whoops. Yeah, so what is that? Back to school, Christmas. This is all holiday. Oh, house project. No, that's gifts. Okay. Yeah, everything else is coming from holiday sinking funds. That's incredibly unusual. So, oh, we said gifts. So 38 from gifts. Oh no. All right. I'm probably going to have to make some change here at some point. We'll see what we pull out of the rest of these. So, okay, Christmas had a little bit. So we've got 11 plus 46. So that's 57. I think that was it from Christmas. Let's do that. 57. Whoops. 50. Killing me. We'll see what I can grab from some of these other ones. Oh, Partey. Did I grab the Partey money? I don't think I did. Because that one's 74. Oh, perfect. 50, 71, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. We might just get there in the end of this, you guys. Let's see. So Partey, and then... Oh, that was another one. Did I do that for Christmas? 46. Oh, I did count that. Oh, back to school. That's 12. Let's see. Oh, y'all are gonna play me. I might have to. Oh, do you know what? Oh wait, Halloween is 10. Okay, well I can at least do that. All right, I'm trying to think about how best to make some change here without going into, you know what, I'm gonna go into my low priority. Oh no, you know what, I think, yep, even like lash lift and my hair. What do we have here? So 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's kind of crummy. I might have to pull from the Dollar Savings Challenge, you guys. I haven't ever had to do that. Ever. I'm sorry, that's my daughter. So let's see here. So Christmas was 46 and 11, right? So that's 57. Where? There we go. Well, oh my goodness, just throwing stuff everywhere. So 50, 60. And 1, 2, 3. So remaining in Christmas, we have 2,000 in the bank, and then 1, 2, 300, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 308 left. Well, I'm sorry, 2,308 left in Christmas. So let me cross those off. Christmas and Christmas. Okay. So what we have that I've got to figure out is the 38 from gifts. And then, oh, but I only have this 100. Oh, but it's 102. Let me, hold on. 64. Okay, so 62. And then back to school, where I also did not have enough ones, I don't think. This is the problem with a bill condensing. Yep, I don't have enough in there either. Okay, so I am going to I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna go in high priority sinking funds and see what we've got going on in toiletries. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at that. Simple math, really. It just took me 100 years to figure out how to do it. Oh my goodness gracious. I hope you guys must really like me if you're still watching at this point. Like, I just can't even imagine. Anyways, so now we're going to go into gifts and put this. So we've got 100 minus 38. So I need to pull back 62, 50, 60, 1 and 2. And remaining in gifts, we have 50, 60, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 64 in gifts. Bless you if you're still watching this most annoying weekly check-in. All right. And then last up, we're going to go into back to school. And we needed 12. So we are going to put in a 20 and pull back 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. And that got us to point B. So remaining in back to school, we have 50, 75, 76, 77, 78, and 79 in back to school. And I'm pretty sure that was all of what I needed to pull. Yeah, so we should have $391 sitting in here. And if we don't, I think I'll just cry and you'll probably unsubscribe. So let's give this a count. 1, 2, 50, 3, 320, 40, 60, 80, 90, 1. 391. We did it. Oh my goodness. That was really something. I don't even have words for what that was. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up for me. Leave me a comment down below. What was the thing that you enjoyed that you spent money on this week? And I know that this is a budgeting channel and we're trying to encourage each other to not be spendy for no reason whatsoever, but maybe you have a purchase this week that brought you some joy. I want to hear about it. So tell me about it in the comments. And then of course, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do not let today's weekly check-in, that was very atypical for me, deter you. I would love it if you joined our fam here and hit that subscribe button. And then I will see you guys on Monday for our regular old cash stuffing. But don't forget that our Q3 update is coming next Wednesday as well, which is super, super exciting. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I will see you on on Monday. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Bye, everyone.